Are you training or are you just doing random exercises? In today's video, I'm going to show you what training looks like and what it takes to make progress over time. What's the crack, my happy face pullers? Today I want you to come with me to one of my training sessions. I'll be walking you through what I'm doing and, more importantly, why I'm doing it. That way you get to see what it actually means to train with intention. As someone who puts information here on YouTube, I feel it's important to be open and transparent to the viewers, you. Because let's face it, what fitness people share on social media platforms nowadays is more of the, the highlights, the flashy stuff, the PRs. But this channel is not going to fall into that trap. So the goal of this video is to share with you a more realistic outlook of fitness. I'm just going to share with you the good as well as the not so good, or the personal struggles that everyone goes through at some point on their fitness journey. Before I go ahead and switch over to the other microphone for the voiceover, let me just say that you might want to stay until the end of this video, because the whole purpose of me showing you my training routine is so that I can visually illustrate the five key lessons, the five key lessons that I want you to apply to your training moving forward.
So first things first, let me clarify real quick that I'm currently on an upper-lower body split routine. That means that 2 sessions out of 4 focus exclusively on my upper body. So here we are, out in the park during holidays. The first exercise I'm doing here is explosive pull-ups. As you can tell by looking at these pull-ups, they are not the cleanest in terms of form. I'm fully aware of it. My personal goal, however, is to make sure that I clean up my technique as I move forward. I just need to try to get better session by session. That's pretty much all I can do for now. Only a few months ago, I had a little bit of a wake-up call when I attended Daniel Fatnell's workshop in Madrid. Among other things, I came to realize that I've been neglecting explosive exercises in my training, especially as it relates to vertical pulling movements. Why? I stayed within my comfort zone. I didn't like including that element of fitness into my training routine because I wasn't good at it. So I have to make a little bit of a U-turn in the way I was looking at my training to confront my shortcomings head on. Here you see me do very few repetitions, only 3 across multiple sets. This is ideal when performing exercises at relatively high levels of intensity. And for me, this is really hard. It's not only about moving from point A to point B, there is an element of speed involved. I want to get my chest above the bar as fast as possible. Once I've completed the explosive portion of my training, I move on to one-arm assisted chin-ups. Here I am grabbing a rubber band to get some assistance during the exercise. You have to be freakishly strong to perform one-arm chin-ups. I'm not quite there yet. Why? It's very simple. I'm not strong enough and I haven't built the muscle mass necessary to perform this move. In spite of all that, this is the type of progressions I need to be doing. By putting myself in such a mechanical disadvantage, I have to work twice as much just to get my chin above the bar. So the physiological adaptations I'm trying to gain from this move is very different from the explosive pull-ups. Speed no longer plays a role here. This is about brute strength, maximum tension. Every single muscle in my body is fully committed to completing this move. The combination of these 2 first exercises I'm showing you here are going to be the key for me to break through my pull-up plateau. Once you max out the so-called beginner gains, you reach a point where you no longer get any further returns from simply doing more of the same thing. I need to be working towards a much harder progression. Alright, so the 2 exercises that I wanted to prioritize are out of the way. So now I get to perform other secondary moves that could assist me in getting stronger overall. If the first exercise was meant to train explosiveness and the second one focused on max strength output, the tuck from lever pull to inverted hang is, in my opinion, a very good choice to elicit a hypertrophic response, aka gaining muscle mass. You have a very substantial range of motion, moderate to high intensity. I'm working here within 5 to 6 repetitions and a long time under tension. That is great for muscle building. So let the gains begin, baby. The tuck from lever pull to inverted hang is a very different type of pulling motion because there is no flexion at the elbow. This means that I get a very different stimulation that I would normally do from the more traditional horizontal and vertical pulling exercises. In case you didn't know, the lats insert at the humerus, which means that they also perform extension at the shoulder. And that's exactly the movement I'm doing here, so my lats are literally on fire. The equivalent of this exercise in the weight room would be the straight lat pull down. However, there are two major differences between these two. The exercise you see me do here in this video is a so-called closed kinetic chain exercise, which means that in this particular case, my hand is fixed to a position and cannot move. So it is the rest of my body that has to travel across space. As you can imagine, this version of the exercise will require many more motor unit recruitment than the cable alternative you can do with a machine at the gym. When done correctly, this exercise builds your lats and substantially improves the work capacity of your core, forearms, and grip. So I feel like I'm getting a lot out of this exercise. If you've never done this exercise before, I would highly encourage you to try it. Alright, so the next exercise is going to be neutral grip pull-ups. I'm going to be very honest with you. Had I been working out in my regular gym, I would have done Pendlay rows. But because I was on holidays and I didn't have access to this type of equipment, I decided to punish my back and arms further with the good old pull-ups. Arguably not the most ideal choice given that my arms and back are fried at this point, but you know, that's what happens sometimes. Try to make do with whatever is available to you and get it done. I could usually do 10 plus repetitions on this exercise, but as you're about to see, this is not going to be one of those times. My performance is about to take a major nosedive. You can actually see how I can no longer maintain proper form towards the end of the two last sets. Sure, the left side of my body has already shown me the middle finger, but I'm fully aware that maxing out on an exercise like this is not particularly difficult to recover from. If I go to concentric failure at this point of the workout, I'm okay with it. Last but certainly not least, inverted rows. Yep. If you've been following me on Instagram or Facebook, you should know by now that I'm a huge proponent of inverted rows. I feel like this is such a underappreciated exercise in the calisthenics community. I understand that in this time and age, all the eyeballs go to the complex skills like planche, front lever, muscle ups, etc. I understand that. But the row is, in my humble opinion, a foundational movement pattern you should always include in your training, regardless of your level. Especially for those of you who are struggling to get your first pull-up, I feel like inverted rows could be the most effective tool to build the foundational strength you need, as well as to develop the muscles of your back that are going to allow you to get your head above the bar at some point in the future. So what I'm trying to accomplish here is to find an intensity level that allows me to get in around 8 to 10 repetitions, so getting a good pump, metabolically stressing my arms and back, and this is what I'm going for here. For any training program to be balanced, you must include a horizontal pulling exercise, and that's exactly what I'm doing here.
Alright, enough of me training. Now on to the 5 key lessons that I want you to take from this video. Have a more realistic mindset about your fitness journey. No one was great when they started training. You'll find things that you like better and you'll tend to gravitate around those. Just like I showed you in my video, I only focus on the strength sides of my pull-ups, completely ignoring the speed component altogether. Certain level of frustration is to be expected, but overcoming those obstacles are one of the most rewarding feelings about self-improvement. The first 30 minutes of your workout are crucial. Make sure that you complete the hardest exercise at the start of your workout because that's when you have the most energy available. As you saw in today's video, the first two exercises were the most challenging for me by far. As you can imagine, these levels of intensity will drain your energy very rapidly. Just be mindful of that and lay out your workout accordingly. As you get deep into your workout and fatigue starts accumulating, just dial back the intensity and perform the following exercises within a higher rep range. During this training session, you heard me say something along the lines of, I'm not able to complete these movements because I'm not strong enough and I don't have the muscle mass in this and this place to complete the exercise. My point here is that sometimes you have to be brutally honest with yourself so that you can come to terms with the things you need to be working on to correct the situation you want to change. Please don't get me wrong on this. I'm all about correct form, proper technique, full range of motion, and all that good stuff. However, do you see my explosive pull-ups in this video? Not the greatest of all times. Look, I know that I don't have the explosive strength to practice this exercise with perfect form, but I'm still doing them because this is what I need. I need to get better at something that I'm not particularly good at. My point here is don't get paralyzed by the idea of perfection. Just try to get a little bit better in every subsequent session because at the end of the day, that's pretty much all you can do. If you can't give a logic explanation to the things you're doing, or even worse, if you go to the gym with no plan whatsoever and you do things only because you like them or because you feel like doing them, chances are that, my happy face puller, you're just exercising. Your efforts are not geared towards specific direction. You're just spending energy randomly in the gym, and perhaps that's all you want, just to make you feel good. If that's the case, that's fine. But if you were hoping to get some results, the lack of a well thought out structured program could be the reason preventing your fitness from getting to the next level. Alright guys, that's all I got today. I really hope you found value in this video. If so, please click on the like button so that other people get to see this video here on YouTube. By the way, I'll be releasing the second episode of this video next week, where I'll be sharing another 5 key lessons to help you along your fitness journey. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell so that you don't miss any future uploads. Drink plenty of water, eat your veggies, and do your face pulls.